Hey everyone, my name is Scott Stevens. I want to thank you for tuning into my new YouTube channel. If you found me, you probably were searching for some Ironman related stuff, maybe some triathlon training, which is great because that was game plan to get you here. But the primary reason that I set this channel up is to reach as many people as I can to bring awareness and to raise funds for Tiny Vines, which is a U.S. based nonprofit humanitarian organization doing work in Lebanon for Syrian refugees. I did Ironman Texas back in 2014, and since that time, I've done several half distance races and some run races. So I've learned a thing or two about triathlon and training. Thought it'd be helpful for some of you first timers to share some experiences I had during my training to help maybe make your training a little less daunting. But before I talk about training, let me talk to you a little bit about our cause, the Syrian refugee crisis. It is a tragedy unlike anything the world has seen since probably World War II. To give you an idea of the enormity of this crisis, about 13 million refugees fled Syria as a result of the civil war that started back in 2011. About half fled the country and live in kind of makeshift camps in neighboring countries around Syria. Now, half the refugees are children. So now just think about that for a minute. 13 million refugees, about the population of the state of Illinois, to give you some idea, and half are children. Now, that's hard to get your head around. Really, it's just unthinkable. They've been called by many the lost generation, kids who have been born into this crisis and live as refugees in these camps. Many have lost moms and dads, siblings. Many have lost their homes, which means, among other things, the lack of an ability to get an education. And with little or no education, there's just really limited options. And for many here there in the Middle East, that means potentially exploitation by extremist groups. We first learned of tying vines a year or so ago when some friends of ours introduced us to Melissa Mitchell. She's the founder of Walk With Me, which is the humanitarian initiative within Tying Vines. Melissa's been working in the Middle East for years now, and what she's been able to do with just a few dollars, truly astounding. Tying Vines Humanitarian, as it's called, focuses on four primary services to the refugees: medical, vocational, educational, and trauma counseling. Tying Vines has been able to provide medical facilities and educational classrooms using shipping containers of all things. You know, those huge containers you see on big barges. They retrofit them into those uses. It's just amazing. Uh, they also have started a vocational sewing program for young Syrian girls to help raise funds for their families. After getting to know Melissa and the work she's done over in Lebanon, we decided as a family to use the Ironman Foundation Your Journey, Your Cause program as our main platform for fundraising for the project. The goal is to reach as many people as possible to tell the story and to encourage them to donate, even if it's just a few dollars. Helping establish educational programs provides an opportunity for some of these children to get an education instead of spending another hopeless day in a dreadful camp. These donations have the power to make truly life-altering changes in a refugee's life. So please consider donating. By the way, our fundraising name, Melissa's Promise, came from a story from Melissa's blog where she talks about meeting with several young Syrian girls who had lost family members, parents, or siblings from the war, had been through extreme trauma, sexually abused, pretty much you name it. Melissa told those girls that she promised them to find friends to help, Well, it's what we're here to do. We're going to make sure she keeps that promise. Okay, so now that you know a little more about why we're doing Ironman, let's talk about the channel and training. So first, my vital stats. I'm 52 years old. I am happily married to my beautiful wife of 31 years. We have 4 kids, all pretty much grown and out of the house. We have a mortgage. We have a dog. Well, it's my daughter's dog. I still buy the dog food for some reason. Uh, I'm a mid-pack age grouper, um, so pretty much a regular guy. I've got a day job, like probably most of you. So most of my training happens in the evening. I just doesn't work in the morning. So pretty long days. I did Texas back in 2014 with a time of 14 hours, 4 minutes, and 44 seconds. Now, my goal time was 13 hours and 48 minutes. That was based on my training times and a little math. My bike split did not turn out quite like I'd hoped it would. So, anyways, this time around, my goal is a PR with a sub 14-hour finish. So, not asking for much. Seems doable. But let me tell you, Ironman's a tricky race. One mechanical on the bike could screw things up. One bobble in your nutrition plan and could mean a DNF. So it's just a really, really long day. Pretty much anything can happen. So we'll see how it goes. So that said, although I sort of cooked this idea up on my own, this is definitely a family affair. I actually was able to entice my son Evan and his wife Lauren to sign up for this race with me. So they're training along with me. Now, to be clear, this will be Evan's fifth full distance race, so he's no stranger to the commitment. Now, his wife Lauren, this will be her first Ironman, so it'll be pretty fun to watch her train and work with her along her journey to the finish line. Let's see. Cody, my oldest son, he's sort of the de facto producer of this because he's a computer guy and knows how to edit. So that's just the way it went. And my wife and other kids are all doing the social media stuff to get the word out. So it's a pretty much all hands on deck program. So the game plan is to chronicle our 40-week training program that starts July 24th, 2018 and ends on race day, April 27th, 2019. So we plan to post a video at least once a week that gives post-workout comments and then a weekly end-of-week recap. We'll also be doing a topic of the week where I'll introduce a piece of gear or some kind of triathlon-related topic that'll help maybe some of you first-timers who are getting into the sport, who've maybe signed up for Ironman for the first time. And then we'll also do an Ironman tip of the week. That'll be based on my experience, maybe an anecdote from my training back in 2014, and will help answer maybe some questions that some of you first timers have about Ironman. So our goal is to raise 25 grand. I know it's a big number, but I'm convinced that together we can make that happen. 25 grand is not going to save the world. It's not going to solve the Syrian refugee crisis. We get it. We're not trying to. We just want to be able to make a difference in the lives of a few of these families. We want to provide an opportunity and some hope to a few of these kids. So join us in our Ironman journey. Along the way, we'll be giving updates on how our fundraising campaign's going, and we'll also hope to bring you some stories of how your donations are making a real difference in the lives of refugees. Okay, so to donate, you can go to my Ironman Foundation webpage. The link is in the description below. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you do Strava, if you're a cyclist or a runner and you have that app, you can follow me there as well. All of that is in the description below. So be sure and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a friend who's into triathlon or is interested in the sport, be sure and share this video so we can get the word out. Thanks for watching.